Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Chris.
This is Mike and Chris Reloaded.
And we are back
Back after 1 week break.
after one weekend with some news.
We have some news.
We have quite a bit of news since we missed a little bit, but we'll get into some. Some stuff probably people already heard, some stuff people might not have heard.
Right. Well, let's start off with Disney raking it in at the box
Oh
office.
my goodness.
They have 2 movies that have grossed $1 billion already.
This is ridiculous. I mean, now they're doing all the live action from the old cartoons.
Right.
I mean, Disney is just going to be like, they're going to like be the world government, I
It's gonna
think.
it's gonna be it's gonna be like Scrooge McDuck swimming in his tank of
I
gold.
know, man.
They're terrible, but yeah, Lion King and Spider Man both have grossed $1 billion.
Well, now with the obviously with the Comic Con, and they announced all the new Marvel announced their, I
Right.
guess, phase
State phase
phase
4.
four supposedly.
Right.
But if you notice something different about these announcements, half of the stuff they announced is all television series.
That's true for the Disney Plus, which to go in with that, Disney Plus is going to be an add-on service for Hulu,
Oh,
is what
nice.
they're going to do. So if you have Hulu, you're going to get Disney Plus at a discounted rate. They just haven't given the amount yet.
Which I have Hulu.
I do have Hulu as well. I have the commercial-free Hulu.
I don't think I have the commercial free Hulu, but I have the Hulu that's combined with my Spotify,
Ah,
which I only pay like $6 a month for both.
that's pretty cool.
It is. It was like
Yeah, you're telling me you could do that.
a
That's pretty
student
awesome.
student discount thing I got. So
Yeah, you're not in school anymore. I'm going to report you
I could like go back.
in 10 years.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about this whole Phase Four thing is we always talked about before how DC was always like had the corner market on all the television series. You
Yeah.
know, they seemed like they was just killing it in the television series, but they couldn't. For some reason,
Produce a movie to
for
save
some
their
reason,
life.
the movies couldn't do nothing. Of course, they did pretty good with Wonder Woman and Aquaman,
Yes, they did.
but I mean, 2 out of 15. That's
Right.
not very good baseball stats either.
No, it's not.
But where it's just the opposite of Marvel. I mean, Marvel their movies are just disgustingly good, where their television series not so much. I mean,
Right.
but now with the Disney Plus and the DCU, and now you're getting these people from the movies into the series, and now they're talking about taking the series and inducing them into the movies.
Right. Yeah, like WandaVision.
Yeah,
WandaVision is supposedly going to take place after the Infinity Gauntlet, so Vision is going to come back to life somehow.
somehow.
Don't know how, but Vision, unless they have saved memory in the computer system somewhere for Vision. I don't know what.
It's entirely possible. Well, and
Mhm.
also the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right, that's
Um,
another one.
but that's going to tie directly into, I believe, Black Widow.
Right,
So because Black Widow's not due out till next year,
right.
and I think you're going to see Falcon Winter Soldier. But see, I heard Black Widow takes place after the second Captain America Winter Soldier.
Sorry about my dog, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah,
But so it takes place in between there. So if everyone's seen Endgame, spoiler alert, we all know what happens to Black Widow.
right.
So a lot of this stuff is going to seems like it might make sense. It seems like it might not make sense. But if you realize the timeline, I guess, on it, then
Right,
you
it'll
know.
be interesting to see what goes on for sure.
But I know there's a couple of big absences from the announcement that Marvel did too. If you noticed,
Really? Which
no,
ones are missing?
no Guardians 3,
No Guardians 3,
no
you're right.
Black Panther 2.
Right, but now Black Panther 2's in development,
It is
right?
in development, and also no Captain Marvel 2 either.
Right. So maybe they don't have to do with Phase 4. Maybe they're.
And this is where, of course, me being the comic book nerd that I am, geek that I am, I'm sitting there racking my brain thinking, I'm looking at, I guess, the big puzzle, trying to figure out the puzzle of this whole thing. Who are they trying to introduce? What are they trying to do? And then I noticed they introduced the Shang-Chi,
Mm-hmm.
and they also introduced Blade. They also introduced a new Blade, which again makes no sense to me whatsoever.
And the female Thor
Female Thor
by Natalie Portman.
But if you notice, everything they're introducing is going into like the occult and mysticism thing. So another big rumor I heard also is one of the big things they're introducing is the real Mandarin this time.
Right.
So so I don't know. I mean, it's ought to be interesting. If anybody knows anything about the Mandarin, he actually had 10 rings of power, and each ring granted him a different ability. So,
I know nothing about his comic book. I don't read.
yeah, but that's what his thing was. He had 10 rings that he wore, and each ring granted him a specific ability. So it made him pretty powerful.
Cool.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that to me, just by all the introductions they showed, looks like it's leading into some sort of mysticism type thing. So we'll have to see. A new Doctor Strange.
Right, yeah. Which is I'm excited for.
So, but yeah, we'll just have to see, I guess.
So what do you think of Natalie Portman being Thor?
I knew it was inevitable. I mean, I didn't know if Natalie Portman was going to come back and redo her, recur her role as Jane, but I knew with the way Marvel's shifting away from everything, I knew some of the stuff was inevitable because they're trying to go back to where the comic books are now. Because like now they have a female Thor. They already showed you how the Falcon took Shield because he became the new Captain America.
Right.
So just different things like that. So it's kind of neat the way they're still trying to a little bit follow the comic books, but not quite get into but still develop their own kind of storyline at the same time.
Right.
So,
okay.
We'll see what happens. I mean, look at the Iron Man. When in the comic books, Tony Stark kind of retired himself. And then they had a little 15-year-old girl had reversed engineered one of his parts, and she became the new Iron Man.
Right.
So was that going to happen? I don't know.
The way they foreshadowed it, it might be his daughter though.
It's possible
in the movies.
It's entirely possible.
It's possible. I think that's my theory.
She was what, 5 years old, I guess. Because it was 5 years later after the Endgame.
Yep.
So she'd been 5. So this could be another 10 years down the road. Who knows?
Right.
Which is going to make it kind of difficult timeline wise because now you got they're still working on more developments for Spider-Man. They want to, from what I read last time I read, they're trying to work on a new deal with Sony to put him in for another 2 to 3 movies.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know because Sony has the whole Venom thing that they want to do. They're going to do the next Venom movie PG-13, so they can incorporate it in with Spidey.
I think if Sony was smart, they would talk to Marvel and say, "Hey, look, we like our Venom character. Why can't you incorporate him in with Spider-Man, maybe into this other universe?"
Right.
And do the same deal. We'll collect the royalties. You can keep the merchandising.
Gotcha.
But honestly, I think the merchandising of Venom's probably a lot more, I guess.
Right.
A lot more.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Sony made $1 billion, so thanks to Disney.
Yeah, well.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
That's no chump change.
Disney, like I said, all their movies are ridiculously good. So
they are. I don't know why.
And
The Lion King had poor reviews, man, because I guess the characters, the CGI characters that they use, Simba and everything, they don't have facial expressions, so it takes away from the show
from some of the moments of comedic moments or whatever,
comedy and drama, and there's no facial expressions in the creatures. So
which is you don't. I mean, a lot of comedy is based off of what you see,
right,
as opposed to what you hear. Also,
right, yeah.
And so, if you can't see, if you hit that comedic line or that comedic punchline or whatever, and it's just it's like telling a joke looking someone straight face,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when you're watching a comedy show and you see people's expressions, that's what, when they're like, oh, and that, gets you that laugh, that pop,
Right.
that whatever.
Yeah.
If you can't see that, then I can definitely see where it's not as good. And
Mm-hmm.
I read that too, the review on it too. Oh yeah, the CGI was not good.
Yeah. Oh well. What do you think of the Sony PlayStation tariffs that are coming out?
Oh, with China,
Yeah.
yeah, they said that if they don't get that fixed, that you ain't going to see them
Well,
anytime soon.
Trump said yesterday that we don't talk politics, but this has to do with video games.
Yeah.
So, but Trump said yesterday that he's putting the tariffs on the Sony PlayStation. He's particularly said that exactly.
Hmm.
So.
Well, I mean, I don't. I mean, I like Sony and I like my PlayStation 4 and everything else,
Yeah, so
but
do I.
I mean, I wouldn't. Honestly, I wasn't going to jump the bandwagon and go out and buy the PlayStation 5.
Well,
But at the
no.
same token, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a crap thing.
Yeah, it's pretty garbage for
Uh,
us. I mean, it's gonna. Well, it gives Xbox a lead in the next console wars,
a
basically.
huge lead in the next console wars,
Yeah, because.
especially with their new system coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Is it this year? Right,
Yeah,
this year.
this Christmas, I believe.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. They already lead the industry as far as multiplayer. So
Right. That's true.
what is it, like 9 million people worldwide or something like that?
Yeah, it's crazy
It's a
numbers.
ridiculous amount of people worldwide in multiplayer.
Madden come out. I've been playing the crap out of the face of the franchise mode.
I haven't played the face of the franchise yet. I've
It's
played the.
it's pretty fun. You start off as a college quarterback. You can only play as quarterback. And you start off as a college quarterback. You got to go through the national championship games,
Yeah, you play
answer
the
interviews.
semifinals and then the finals, right?
Yeah, play
Yeah.
semifinals,
I know
finals,
the premise of it. I just haven't really played it yet.
and then you got to go through the combine and do your drills in the combine. It's pretty fun. I got drafted in the first round.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I was pretty good. I lit it up, man. I got like 5 touchdown passes in the national championship game.
Now, I heard a rumor, um, just some forums I've read and stuff, that supposedly, and I don't know how true this is, I guess a lot of people were a little upset about some of the collegiate teams you got to pick.
Mm-hmm.
That no, there wasn't some of the ones that they wanted. So I heard a rumor in some forums that supposedly later on down the road, Madden's going to have an update, which will allow you to pick more collegiate teams.
Well, that'll be cool. Yeah, I didn't get to pick my Badgers.
Yeah, well,
I
Wisconsin sucks.
Wisconsin does suck. I picked the Oregon Ducks. But yeah, that was pretty good. Facebook. Did you hear about them?
I did not.
They got a $5 billion fine for violating privacy acts of subscribers.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what do they call it? The FCS, FEC,
FCC,
FCC. Yeah, they fined them $5 billion.
which is what, like a
10% of their profit this year.
yeah, if that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be a class action where people who've been violated, like the Equifax thing, or
Or
the
how about the Capital One thing?
yeah, that's the Equifax is what it comes from. But yeah, the Capital One data breach. But was it
That just
Equifax?
recently happened.
Yeah,
Equifax was last year.
this the there's a class action lawsuit you can collect money. I think it's
$125.
$125. Yeah, did you find it?
I did. Well, actually, I have a little app on my thing that monitors my credit. So, and it told me about it. So
Oh, you have credit monitoring?
I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's
You get
like
reimbursed for
Credit
that for the
Karma,
last.
Credit Karma or something like
Oh,
that.
Credit Karma now. My brother has paid $14.95 a month for the last 2 years since that breach, and he gets all that reimbursed to him.
Oh, nice.
He's getting like $1,000 back.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
Well, I know,
but
like I said, that was last year or a couple of years ago, but the new one that just happened was actually Capital One, the
right.
credit card company.
So
The woman, I guess she used to work for Amazon.
right,
She was an Amazon
they caught her
web
already.
designer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over 100 million people were impacted on that.
Yeah, I'm sure even though I don't have a Capital One no more, I tore them
Well,
up.
from what I read, it was 140,000 people's social security numbers were, and then something like upwards of 80,000 people's credit card numbers.
They say Social Security numbers were never meant to be identification purposes for us, and credit companies have been just using it as that, and that's not the design for Social Security numbers. It's terrible.
It is. It's bad.
You get your Social Security number, they got everything, man. They don't need nothing else.
Yeah, you can create a whole new everything with that.
Mm-hmm. Staying on some news here, did you know GameStop laid off 50 of their regional and district managers this past week?
Really?
Yeah, they're hurting. I guess they're getting ready to close stores and stuff more.
Hmm. I saw an article the other day talking about possible closing, but I wasn't sure of some source. And I know that with the everything, a lot of things going digital
Yeah.
nowadays. It's
Well, they're getting into the. I don't think they're doing enough, but they're getting into the collectibles.
hmm
I think GameStop needs to focus on the collectibles as their future, because video games 10, 15 years down the road are going to be all digital.
well that, and then also if they focus on the collectibles and maybe focus on their website more,
Mm-hmm.
the ordering and stuff like that online. So,
Yeah. That could be saved, but I don't know if they have the right mentality in charge to save them.
I don't know, man. I've always loved going to GameStop, just
Me
looking
too. We go
around
there every
and
day, every week.
mess around, looking around, see what they had, and buying the occasional T-shirt or whatever, or hat or
Yeah,
something.
they just had a good deal where you get two T-shirts for $10
It's
a
pretty
couple
good.
weeks ago. Yeah, we each bought a couple T-shirts. It was pretty cool. But yeah,
Of course, we had and not to change the tone or anything,
good.
couple of deaths recently.
Yes.
Of course, Nick Bonacati.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows who he is. Well, I don't know if everyone knows who he is, but he used to be part of Inside the NFL on HBO,
Right.
and then he was part of the '72 Dolphin undefeated team,
Yep.
linebacker. He passed away, and then Rutger Hauer,
Yep.
which is really weird. Everybody associates Rutger Hauer with Blade Runner
Right.
because I guess the irony of the situation where the Blade Runner movie took place in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
which he was a replicant, he died, and
Right.
then this is 2019, he dies obviously, but he was in so many more movies than just Blade Runner.
Yeah, he was.
Um, uh, One of my all-time favorites that he was in was called Blind Fury.
Really, I don't think I've seen that one.
Great movie. He was as he was in the Vietnam War or something, and he went to save a friend of his.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up taking some napalm to the face, and he went blind. Well, oops, that was my phone. My bad.
That's all right. My dog barked, so hey, we're running good today.
But he ended up taking some napalm to the face and went blind, and he ended up his friend thought he got killed, was laying a pile of bodies, blah blah blah. Well, some natives had found him, nursed him back to health, and the native people taught him how to use a sword.
Hmm.
So he comes back after years later to find his friend,
Right.
and his friend somehow got in trouble, like making drugs or something with some kind of drug lords or whatever. So,
Huh.
and he ends up, trying to help him get out of there because he wants to get out of there because his friend has a son or whatever, and he wants to, get back
Right.
with his son. But it's a really good movie.
Huh. I'll have to check it out. Definitely check it out. So, the latest Twitch and Mixer drama. You hear Ninja left Twitch for Mixer.
I didn't know he was on. I don't even know who Ninja is, to be honest.
Well, he's got 14.7 million followers, so he's basically like the video game streaming king.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's the top of the food chain. And I guess Microsoft offered him some money to go exclusively to Mixer to push their Mixer instead of Twitch.
Wow.
And he took the money. So that's going to be big.
Well,
I mean, if it puts
for
14.7 million people in Mixer,
for those
that's.
of you people who think that video games are just fun,
Yeah.
it's just a way to make money now.
Well, what's his name? That little kid that won $3 million at the Fortnite National
16-year-old kid.
Championship. $3 million for playing a video game.
Well, it's all part of the whole esports thing they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're talking about introducing it into the Olympics now.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's the future, man.
it is. I agree to an extent, but it takes away from just the. I think you're going to get to a point where it's going to become now where it's like when you go on, you want to get on and play multiplayer or something. It's going to be you're going to have now instead of having like one room, you're gonna have two rooms. You're gonna have like elite professional people can only go in here, and then the classic,
Right.
everyday gamer can go in here.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
want to
mean?
play with the classic everyday gamer instead of
Yeah,
the elite people, anyways.
yeah, and it's just it is frustrating. Nobody wants to lose, obviously.
No.
And I'm fine with losing. I'm okay with losing. Yeah, I do get frustrated sometimes, but you're like, okay, it's just a game, whatever. But when you, as a novice, you know what I'm saying, are playing a game you just for fun or relaxation, whatever, and you're playing some dude that's like a world champion,
Right.
where's the fun in that? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So and that's where I think, and I hate to even kind of bring this up on in that aspect of it, like a registration type thing, I guess.
Hmm.
Maybe people who log in with a specific account or something should be able to, hey, okay, we see you're like in a world class of your own. You can't play with these people.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
gotcha. I gotcha. I don't mind getting my ass kicked because it's random, but
Yeah,
excuse my language. I forgot we're PG now, but anyways.
that's all right.
But I just don't want to happen every single game.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That's I don't mind it happening once in a while where I come up against
Oh no,
the
yeah,
number
I've
one
had
in the
my
world.
I've had my butt kicked plenty of times, and then there's been times where I've just had like the game of my life.
Yeah.
And which is fine. That's cool. I was like, hey, if I could have just that phenomenal game and just lose 3 or 4 times, whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Right.
But then you get people in there who think they're better than others,
Yes.
and then you get the people that know they're better than others.
True.
So I don't know. It's definitely a millennial thing nowadays, and not less like us old
It
people.
is. Did you
But
see that meme? I don't know. It was on Facebook today where it had a Millennium car alarm system.
no, I didn't see that
And it
one.
had a picture of a shifting
Oh, nice.
manual.
I actually have seen that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like millennial car theft deterrent
yeah,
system. It's pretty funny.
that
People
is pretty
don't people
hilarious.
don't use stick shift no more. It's just one of those things that never happened, like cursive writing. You know?
Yeah, you don't hardly see it anywhere
Yeah,
at all.
they stop. I think a lot of schools have stopped teaching cursive altogether. So I think Florida is one of them. I think they don't teach cursive, and I think they teach you how to write your name in cursive, and that's it
Hmm.
in Florida. It's just times are changing, man.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, it's
Speaking of times are changing, we've got some whiny, complaining kids. Got my favorite show on Netflix canceled.
which one's that one?
13 Reasons Why.
Oh yeah,
I love that show, and I mean, it's dramatic, it's extreme, but it has a good message behind it. And they got it canceled. Too many people said that it was too surreal for it. So not this season coming out, but the next season they're gonna end it
hmm.
because
Well, maybe they'll end it at least properly.
I hope so. I just think it's crappy that these what are they vanilla milkshakes? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
really.
know these. I don't know. They're crybabies. I don't understand.
Well, speaking of Netflix, next week, new season of Glow.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty excited for
I'm
that.
excited for that too.
That's
That's
a
a good
great
show.
show.
It is.
And
Jinx.
and like I said, I remember we talked about it before. I remember watching the actual show when I was a kid. Just because it was just something silly and comedic and whatever.
Right.
And it's funny the way the evolution of the TV series of Netflix series is showing how it's almost like a live action documentary, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not at the same time. So I love the way they do the direction of it and everything else, how they're doing it. So it's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Speaking of wrestling, we talked about PG-13 and WWE going away now.
Yeah.
Going away from PG and going to PG-13.
Yeah.
This last Monday was the first time they reincorporated blood into the episode in a
Oh,
long
nice.
time. Yeah, they beat the crap out of was it Seth Rollins? Is he the? I think Seth Rollins,
He's one of the
the Beast
champions.
incarnate. Yeah, he beat the crap out of Seth Rollins, and he had blood spewing out of his mouth and
Oh.
everything. So maybe wrestling's fixing to get good. I've been watching it, hoping that it gets good again
Well, I
with
know
the
they had it where they used to like all the wrestlers used to cut themselves
Yeah.
to whatever, but Vince McMahon's like no more. We're not doing that anymore.
Right.
Never whatever because that's when he changed his format and everything else. But now I guess it's getting to a point where
Well, that's because they're losing so much money. WWE is actually bleeding money right now. It's because its viewership is down because there's other alternative methods out there with New
AEW.
Japan and AEW.
AEW, which starts their weekly service on TNT
Yeah.
this September. Or September, October.
I
Maybe it's
thought
October.
it was October.
Maybe it's October.
I think it's October.
Weekly service on TNT.
Yeah.
It looks
pretty good. I think they're going to have a good show. But like I said, WWE's fighting back with their racy stuff because like one of the storylines they got going where a guy hasn't consummated his relationship, his marriage yet.
Nice.
So I mean they're getting it's a stupid storyline, but they're trying.
Well, that's the thing, WWE changed their name to WWE World Wrestling Entertainment.
That's because they're getting sued by the WWF.
But they've always classified themselves as entertainers and not athletes.
Right.
And which is where you get all the little storylines, the feuds, the whatever. When TNA first came out, they were just straight up wrestling. I mean, you build a feud between somebody, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They'd get on, cut a quick promo. I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to kick your butt. Blah 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 blah. Then they'd go out and fight and wrestle or whatever, which was cool. Which was what I loved about TNA. It's just they went through and they just like I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, and they hit at it. But then TNA went away with that and started bringing factions and storylines and this and that. And it started trying to like, well, WWE's doing this. Let's capitalize on that. Like you don't seem to understand. WWE's had 40 years of experience on doing this stuff.
Right.
So.
And they pay a lot of money for their writers.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jeff Jarrett over there at TNA isn't paying a lot of money for writers.
So I think that's where they kind of went wrong. Why TNA is kind of fizzling out.
Yeah, they don't even have a TV channel anymore, do they?
Yeah, they do somewhere. I can't remember.
Really?
It's changed to somewhere else. Yeah.
Oh.
But now you. Excuse me. I'm sorry. But now you have. WWE introduces their developmental student. Their
NXT.
NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Which NXT is kind of how TNA was. It's like you're feuding. I hate you. Let's get out there and get it on.
Right.
That's why NXT is so popular and everyone loves the shows there. I mean, it's just nonstop action wrestling, high flying, punching. You know what I'm saying? That's what people want to see. So I think with the introduction of AEW coming in, you're going to see that format again.
Gotcha.
And with a lot of people who they haven't been able to see other than like in the New Japan Wrestling or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's obviously some former WWE talent there too, which are
Chris Jericho.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to pan out and what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for the future of wrestling. It might finally be getting good again. So I'm stoked. That's pretty much all the news that I have for this week.
Yeah, that's about pretty much all I have since I was just seeing what you had.
Yeah, considering you're just playing off of me because you lost your paper.
I lost everyone. There you go.
I called you out.
I've been called out. I've lost my notebook that had all my notes in it. So, but I think I winged it pretty good.
You did do pretty good. I think this is a pretty good show. Hey, remember to like and share our Facebook page, iTunes. Drop us a review. We'd appreciate it.
We appreciate everyone's downloads this last month.
Yeah, we hit 700 and some downloads for the month, so
keep them coming. We want to reach that 1,000. Maybe when we reach 1,000 downloads, we'll do a special show or something.
Yeah.
We'll figure out something. We've got a top 5 coming up here in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
What do we do? Top 5 horror remake movies, correct?
Yeah, top 5 movies we want to see remade. Horror movies.
Horror movies we want to see remade. So,
yep. And we're going to try a phone guest. I know our first phone guest didn't go so well, but I think we kind of got the quirks worked out of it, so... And we'll do some practice runs, but we're going to try to do a phone interview for that top 5.
And then we're going to try and get some more interviews with some other people in here, like we promised.
Right.
And That's all I got.
So remember, don't get loaded.
Get reloaded.